In this video, I'm going to give you a list of tips to remove nails from plywood. So the first thing we need to do is whack some nails into our plywood. A lot of fixings these days are used with a electric nail gun or a pneumatic nail gun. So we'll just pop a pin in there. This has got some 50 gauge pins in. We've also got a couple of nails here. We've got some panel pins. We've got these, they call these round wire nails, I believe. We've got some of these small annular ring shank nails. So now I'm going to show you a couple of the common tools and techniques that you need to use to remove these nails. Now whenever you're removing nails, it's always useful to wear a pair of safety goggles. These will just protect your eyes in case you accidentally flick a nail out and it bounces off. That's very unlikely, but still, it's always best practice to wear some goggles. Now the first job, and probably the hardest job to remove any kind of nail, is just getting the nail started and pulling it out just above the surface. Sometimes they're sunk in. Now you always have two options when pulling nails out. You can go back out the way that the nail came in, or you can send the nail straight through. And this is often an overlooked area. So I bought this set of punches. We'll pop a list of tools that we've used somewhere in this video. So this is a set of punches that I just picked up on Amazon, and as you can see, it's got a nice rounded end and it's long and thin. Some of the other punches I've used are actually tapered, so as you try and punch the nail in, it actually widens the hole, but these are perfect. Just select a punch slightly smaller than your nail, and we'll show you how to take a nail out this way, and then we'll show you how to pull them out through the front. So you want to sink your nail in. You don't want to go all the way through. You want to leave the head of the nail sticking out. So you can always put a mark on your punch, the depth you want to go to, knock your pin through. Get that to there, and then we'll take that one out later, but we know sometimes if your punch sticks a little bit, you can get your claw hammer on it and just lever it up. If you've got some little offcuts of wood, you can put them under to get a bit of better leverage. Pull your punch out. So that nail's sunk in. We'll show you where that ends up in a minute. If you are trying to pull your nail out through the face, you want to extract it that way, then the most useful tool that I've ever used is a tack remover. So this is designed for removing thumbtacks, but if you buy a heavy duty one, which we'll show you in our list of tools in the description, they're really good for pulling out nails. Not only will they remove tacks, they'll also remove nails as well. And I think you can buy these in a set of different sizes. The beauty of these is you can hammer them in, they dig under the nail and just help you to get it started. So we'll go with our little pin here. You can select the right tack lifter for the job. This one's just a little bit smaller. I'm going to get that under our pin and attempt to just get the head out a little bit so we can get something more heavy duty on the end. So we'll just get that under there. We're going to create a little bit of damage, but we're going to have to if we want to get this out. Get that under the head of the nail and then lift. And if you want to protect the piece of wood below, in fact this is a great example because I've cut this up, you can see the damage caused there. What you need to get yourself is a scrap piece of wood or a little thin packer. This is perfect. It's just some 1/4 inch plywood. You can use 1/8 of an inch plywood or 3mm. You just want to get under there so you're levering off your sacrificial piece and not damaging the surface. Just get that nail out. You can see why punching it in is a good option because it leaves a really clean hole on the surface. And this pinhole is only the size that the pin went in at, so you're not creating any further damage. Whereas pulling it out this way can be more destructive, and it's on the face side as well. But once you've got that exposed, you want to take your pair of pliers or pincers, put them on, still using your sacrificial piece. These are brilliant. If you're ever removing nails and you want to protect the surface, do get yourself a little scrap piece of wood to prise off. You'll find it saves you a lot of work afterwards, filling and trying to patch in your surface. Lever it up a little bit, and then really after you've used those two, you want to then upgrade to something with a little bit more leverage, i.e. hammer, get that under. And if you really want to get leverage on this, you can keep adding packers. If you've got a particularly large nail, then this comes into its own. You want to make sure that the nail is right in the V of the hammer, and you need to be able to make sure that your weight is sort of pushed against there, and you lever your handle back at the top. Lever your handle back at the top, and you'll just extract your nail. So really, these are the essential tools that I always carry with me to remove nails. It's the same principle to remove them all. And then we'll just show you that one we punched in earlier. So as you can see, that's our pin there that we sunk right through our plywood. As you can see, that's the damage we've caused there, punching our pin through, nothing to the surface. That's the damage we've caused trying to pull the nail out through the top. This is what a lot of people do, and I never understand why people don't punch them through. And then you've got your nail exposed there on the joist or the surface underneath. Get your pincers on it again. Repeat the process with your claw hammer. You can also use a pry bar. These are really useful when you're doing a home reno. It's the same principle. You've got options to lever the pin out. This pry bar actually doesn't go down to a V, so it's not great at removing small pins. You see it's rounded in the hole there, whereas your traditional claw hammer finishes at a sharp point. So it actually hooks onto the pin a lot better, and then you can remove your pin that way. So I hope that's shown you just a few ways you can remove nails. Obviously there's a traditional way of knocking that pin out that's stuck in the plywood, but what I always like to do, rather than knock it out and risk damaging the face, is I always like to pull my pins through if I can. So take your pincers, pull that pin through the wood, and then you create all your damage on the back of your piece of trim or your skirting board, and you only create the hole that's the size of the nail head on the finished surface. So if you've learned a couple of things from this video, drop us a like. If you yourself have some other methods that you think could help people, let us know in the comments. And if you want more quick, practical DIY tips, then subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.